You said your mother. Go ahead.
Why have you stayed so long? Like, what's the? I know you're local ties and things like that. I could assume it's related to that, but in your words, why?
Yeah, I mean, definitely being from around here, the academic component. I got a double major from across the street in James Madison here. I'm working on a master's now. There's definitely the academic component, but really just like how special this program is. Like I said, I've seen winning football here as a player for a year. I've seen it growing up around here, and I really believe in what Coach Smith is doing to get us back to that point. And so, when he got hired, I was coming off my 4th year. I was set to graduate, and I did. I thought about it. I was like, from a playing time standpoint, I could probably go somewhere and maybe be somewhere the linebacker room's not so deep, and maybe get a chance to play somewhere. I actually sat down with Coach Izzo, because Coach Smith was kind of transitioning, and we just talked about how much this place means to both of us, and what it means to really have a home. Some place you're going to bring your kids back and be proud of what you left, and that's ultimately what it came down to. I wanted to help Coach Smith build something here. I wanted to be a part of that and have some ownership stake in that.
How'd you arrange that meeting with Izzo? Did that just kind of happen?
I kind of had. My dad and him are kind of buddies, so I just was like, I'd like to sit down and talk to him, tell him where my mind's at, and he's the best guy. He's took the time out of his day to sit down with me and talk, and so it was special.
You heard from him lately?
Yeah, I've seen him here and there, talked to him here and there, so we stay in touch.
What is it about this staff then that did so? Like, if you look back at going into last year, into this year, how much of that has come true in the build that you want to see?
Yeah, on one front, the development of the culture, beliefs, experience, behaviors. The development of the culture has really come along. As we had 61 new guys last year, and we were building right through the season. And just getting the buy-in there and developing that has been special, and I've seen it improve. And that's really special on the one hand. And then from the football side of things, I think we have an excellent staff. Coach Ross is a fantastic football mind. He's a very good teacher. All of our coaches, position coaches, I see how detailed they are. I see how smart they are from a football intelligence standpoint. And I think we keep buying into their game plans and their schemes. We keep honing in on the details and tightening some things up. I think the on the field product is definitely going to improve, and I'm looking forward to seeing how that goes.
Having been around here and knowing the history of the program, I would imagine you probably heard people who, I don't want to say are doubting this coaching staff, but maybe we're a little unsold yet on it. What does this year mean in terms of selling that belief, in terms of showing the results to build? You got it inside, but how do you build it from the outside?
Yeah, no, I mean, at the end of the day, football is a production business, and it's a zero-sum game. There's a winner and a loser on every play. You get a 1 or a 0, and so the on the field product's got to be there, and I think we're building towards that. I think we're making great strides there. I think we've made great strides there. I thought we had a really good spring ball. I thought we've had a good camp. We're continuing to build. The hay's never in the barn. We're always going to be improving, right up until Friday night, right up through the season. But just getting more tightened up on the details, getting more experienced and detailed in the schemes themselves, I think is going to benefit our on-the-field play. And we're going to see better, more detailed football with the physicality that we've always striven to have, and the toughness and everything. And so I think it's coming, and I think people will be bought in soon enough.
Sam, I apologize if you've been asked about this, but Joe Rossi was talking about how he called you when he first came on. What did that mean to you for him to tell you that he wanted you here?
It meant a lot. I'd done a little bit of research. Obviously, we'd played them, and our most recent matchup against them in Spartan Stadium, defensively, they dominated that game. And so I knew he was a smart coach. I knew he knew what he was doing. They've always been putting guys in the league. They've always been, one of the better, tougher Big Ten defenses over there on the western part of the conference. And so I trusted his stuff. I sat down with him, talked scheme just a little bit. He hadn't had the playbook fully, shirt up yet before that little winter break we had. But I sat down with him and just said, I'm all in, and I want to be a part of this deal. And whatever you need from me, I'm ready.
He said he wants you to coach. You think is that in your future at all?
We talk about it sometimes. We'll see. I definitely. I'd never close the door to it. I love this game. Enjoy being here every day. It's a privilege, and so I'm definitely open to it. But got some other ideas too. So we'll see.
I think I heard that Jonathan Smith